Welcome to Skyline Stroll. Today we're going to be going on a quick canoe trip with some friends, getting out of the house, just socializing, not being such a hermit all the time. We're going to be at Turkey Run State Park. I've actually never been. Every time my friends have gone, it's always been on some point where I'm busy, so I've always had to miss this park, and I'm really excited to check it out. I haven't been canoeing in like 10 years or something like that, so should be a good time. Should be a fun little trip, and I'm hoping to get lots of footage, and I'm also going to talk a bit about getting out of the house even when you don't feel like it, and socializing even when you feel a little like down on yourself and stuff. So Turkey Run is one pretty park. I sure would like to hike it sometime in addition to what I'm doing today. I'm going to be doing a 12-mile canoe trip today. I could go for a 12-mile hike while I'm at it, though, that's for sure. Damn, yeah, look at all that moss and wildflowers.
Okay, guys, if you haven't done...
Loving this covered bridge up here. Getting excited to get out and about with the friends. So here we are hitting the water. Got that big old covered bridge behind me, which was really cool to see. And I don't quite need to paddle just yet because the water's kind of pushing us along a bit. But I'll be doing that here in a minute. I'm also just going to try and get some footage of the cliff I'm looking at. That's quite cool, and the waterway. And it's a nice sunny day. Looks like it's going to be 70 to 80 degrees out. So, talking about COVID. For one, I think a lot of people got really stuck in like staying in, and just it became a habit, and we all adapted to it. And so nowadays a lot more people keep to themselves, and I think a lot of people have been burnt by miscommunication, our own perspective, and judgments on you know, the way we choose to see things, like people's actions and behavior. Sometimes people don't mean as malicious as we think, right? And sometimes they genuinely do. Damn, look at that cliff, guys. Good shit. I am not the person with the greatest of balance, so let's see how this goes. And in the meantime, quiet moment will do me some good. We'll be pulling off probably around like the 6-mile mark, having a lunch. I'll be getting a chance to catch up with some of my friends. It's a buddy of mine who's rather busy, and his partner and my mother, who are all out today on this quick trip. And yeah, I think I needed to just let things be a little bit fun for a while. Try and enjoy myself a bit. And not get so caught up in staying cooped up in my room all the time to myself. Nothing to gain in there. So I'm not saying we should make excuses for people that don't treat us right in our life. In fact, over the last couple of months, I've cut numerous people out of my life, full stop, and I'm not in touch with quite a few people that I was, say, 6 months ago. And as I reevaluate how I feel like I want to be treated, I make that decision. And I'm willing to make allowances for mistakes and errors and people not treat me how I want to, especially when communication isn't there. But I do think at a time, part of the reason we end up feeling like we don't want to socialize is because we just choose to socialize with the wrong people. Maybe we feel like we don't deserve other people or aren't compatible with other people, but we probably are. So get out there, meet new people, see what you can do, try new things, and try to become a more well-rounded person. And don't be afraid to kick somebody to the curb, because sometimes that's just part of part of the job, part of life. Sometimes we just gotta look at people and say, no more. I've seen your antics time in and time out, and I don't think it's beneficial for me to keep associating with you. You don't have to be malicious. You don't have to leave on an insult. You can just leave. And it'll feel real liberating to do so. And yeah, you can end up in this phase of your life where you feel kind of lonely as you try to fill the holes where people who weren't the best for you used to sit. But I'd rather have an empty hole to fill than a hole full of poison, right? So, damn, what a beautiful day to get out and about, though. Checking out more cool rock formations and fallen trees and exposed roots and stuff as we go. This is definitely the prettiest part of the state I've seen so far, and I've made a conscious effort to see many pretty parts of the state, truth be told. There's a reason I have a goal of putting all the state parks I can on my channel. So, start in my own backyard, like I said, and work my way out to more and more parks. God, that is crazy. Like, what even am I looking at? So, back on topic though. I think one reason people find themselves so socially burnt out is they're too available. Either you just always respond on your phone, or you're just always at someone else's beck and call, and it just makes you feel like you're craving even 10 minutes of time to yourself. And if you feel that way, yeah, you're not going to have fun when you do socialize if you're just always at people's beck and call. So maybe put your phone on silent for at least an hour a day. As an only child, I straight up have to have an hour of alone time each day, or I just get increasingly cranky. And I fancy myself an extrovert. I do fancy myself someone that likes to get out and interact and be in groups and meet new people. But I still need that hour. If I don't get at least an hour just to myself, it ain't a good day. So if you're too available, if you're always responding to others, if you think you're a bad person because you demand a little space or privacy, you're not. And I realize in a busy world it can feel really hard to find a moment to squeeze quiet into your life, but I find I actually get a lot more done when I make room for that in my life, because less brain fog, less frayed, mentally burnt out, and these quiet moments are downright important to me. I typically have mine in the morning, first thing over coffee. I suffer from real bad night terrors, so I like to wake up in a bad mood, kind of flighty, and I usually spend the first hour of my day focused on getting back to center, back to zen, really focus on the taste of my coffee and do some breathing, spend a good 30 minutes at least just not touching my phone, just being with myself in the morning, kind of stapling myself back together from a night of tossing and turning. I'm resting now better than I used to, but it's because I am slowly implementing all these little changes that are making me someone who can find a moment of peace in myself, who can quiet my own mind and not panic and not worry and not die of an anxiety attack every time something goes a little bit wrong, right? So if you're really looking to get your life straightened out, I would start by finding a window for alone time. And if you're feeling really burnt out socially, as counterintuitive as it might sound, I would also prioritize finding a window for you time, for alone time. And squeeze it in where you can. Some people will, their shower, their commute is where they get their silence and their alone time. That's a cool way to spin those things to be less chore and like them more. And but for me, I just straight up will create my hour of alone time and then enjoy my quiet shower and my quiet commute on top of that. So I get plenty of alone time, and because of that, when I'm out and about like this, I feel real comfortable socializing and interacting with others. Found a couple of turtles sunbathing on a rock. You can just barely see them there. Look at those guys. Aren't they cool? Turtles are actually my favorite animal, so I love seeing some turtles out in the wild. And these are actually some pretty big boys, so gotta say, love that. Oh, come back, guys. Where'd you go? Here we are. Turtles. I swear, turtles. And honking, I guess. Because it could be a tiny guy.
I'm grabbing it. I need you to take it. Take the garter steak.
Hi, buddy.
They got brown racers here. Those are poisonous.
Right, where'd he go?
Right there.
Oh, well, he disappeared quick, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't want to.
Tyler would have loved it.
There he is. You can just see his tail barely slithering up there.
Oh,
Guys, want to say anything to the viewers? Alright, so I'm filming back at home. I decided to spend a good chunk of my trip out actually spending it with my friends and enjoying my time with them and enjoying my bit of alone time with nature. So I didn't wrap up the video there. Instead, I'm wrapping it up at home now. I also went out this weekend and tried something new. A buddy of mine's family was hosting a tournament for a game called Dice Throne, and I'd only really played it once while I was there. And I actually won. Yay. I won. Who knew? And so that was fun. And then I spent that Sunday with other buddies playing Magic the Gathering. Good time. And it was some friends I hadn't gotten to gotten to catch up with in a while. So, to wrap up my thoughts, I think that getting out and socializing is beyond key to making life worth the damn. If you're just going to work and coming home and going to work and coming home, unless you're doing something you really love at home, I can't imagine you would not get burnt out quickly. I know when I try this, I do just end up burnt out quickly, and when I've been able to hold jobs longer and just be a more functioning member of society, I've had a regular hobby that gets me interacting with others. That hobby allows me to do what I need. It allows me to say, okay, well, today sucks and tomorrow might suck, but the day after that, I'm going to go out with my friends and do the thing I love, and I'm looking forward to it. Other benefits of socializing is a sense of community. We all need community. We all need to feel like we have people that care about us, and people make us more well-rounded. They make us someone who can see flaws in ourselves, make changes more correctly. So as much as I understand wanting to self-improve and introspect and work on yourself, sometimes the opinions of others are not good for you and can destroy you, but at other times they can be downright key to making you better. So choosing who you keep in your life is beyond critical. You have to be real careful. You got to look for little red flags up front. And you don't really want to be aggressive about it. You don't want to put people through the hoops or test them over and over again or whatever. You just want to be aware of people who might have some less than desirable traits or traits that don't benefit your future or what you want to do or be. And you should probably take a step back from those type of people. So choosing the right people is downright key. We need to be oh so careful because they say we're the average of the 4 people we spend the most time with. I don't know how true that is, but I do know when I spend more time around fun and positive people, I become a more fun and positive person, which is great. So try and balance introspection time with socializing time, because we need that time out in the world, experiencing others, seeing how we engage with others to actually have something to introspect on. If we don't do that, we may not have anything to genuinely introspect on and look back on and think to ourselves, well, what did we do this week? We didn't. Okay. Let's message that friend we haven't talked to in 2 weeks. Let's see what they're up to. Maybe they're up to something cool, and if not, maybe we can get each other out of a rut and go do something together. Another thing I talked about earlier that I'm going to touch up here is coming back from COVID. So many people did social distance at that time and have kind of picked up a lifestyle of social distancing as like permanent. And I hate to say it, guys, I get wanting your peace, I get wanting to keep some space, but inviting the right people in will enrich your life and make it better. Socializing will make you feel better. If you're down in a rut, like, friends help. It's just that simple. Friends help. Time with people you get along with helps. And community makes us feel like we have a purpose. Without community, what do we have? We have achievements to share with no one, growth to not help others. Not great things. It's like everything you do is cut in half. And you can be happy independently, and you should be independent. But you should find a happy balance between having people fill holes in your life where they genuinely just can, and filling holes in your life by yourself where you need to. Because people do serve a purpose. Humans have been a social species for as long as we've been a species, and this is the least social we've ever been. And I think since the Industrial Revolution, culture has moved towards less socialness, just as a whole. But I also think that that's all the more reason to cut your own slice of friendship pie off the pie, because that pie is getting a little smaller each year. Festivities feel smaller, events feel smaller. I play the cards, the card tournaments, no matter what game you love, they feel like they're shrinking. It's just people are so lost in the bog of grinding and surviving that they've lost the importance of enjoyment. And enjoyment is twice as fun with other people to enjoy things with. Maybe not buzzkills, but people? Yeah, people add a lot. And I wouldn't be half the man I am today if previous lovers and close friends and even some of my family wouldn't challenge me to be better. So, when people are coming at something from a point of love, you can tell. And if it's a hard conversation, yeah, you have a right to be like, I don't want to have this conversation right now, but understand where the conversation is coming from, right? And that will help you decide if the person has your best interest at heart or not. A lot of people may benefit from you not being healed and may not actually want to see you heal. Those are the people you need to cut off. The ones that enable you, the ones that tell you stuff's not safe. Not because it isn't safe, but because they don't want you to take steps. So those are the people, the crabs in the bucket as they call it, those are the people you need to cut out. And the people who pull you out of your comfort zone without pressure, the people who want to see you do better for yourself, the people who cheer when you achieve, those are the people you need to have in your circle and prioritize having in your circle. The achievements of others, yeah, it's good to pay attention to if people are taking care of themselves and advancing in life, but at the end of the day, this isn't an excuse to judge people based off their achievement. High quality people haven't made it yet in life sometimes, and vice versa. Sometimes crappy people are at the top of the pyramid. And so don't judge off achievement. Judge off intent. Judge off what the actions actually do. Do you feel heard? If you feel heard by these people, then that's great. Those are some of the best connections. Most people just aren't going to understand you when you speak. They're just going to project what they want to hear onto you. And those people you have nothing to gain from interacting with. So that isn't true. Everyone knows something you don't, and it may benefit you to learn it. But you got to deliberate on that and try to choose quality mentors, quality peers, and hell, just choosing the right people will make you want to get out and socialize more. If you had a great time, you're going to want to hit them up again next week and be like, let's do that again. Let's do something else, right? And if your friends or loved ones, if they leave you drained, if they leave you feeling insecure, if they leave you stressed out, yeah, you're going to want to miss every other outing. I don't think I'm going to make it today, guys. It's my dog's birthday, whatever. And so choose carefully. Choose the right people you want in your circle. It will make the hugest difference. And then balance that time to yourself and the time with the people. The right people will understand that you need time to yourself, and you won't have to make an excuse of being busy. You'll be able to look at them and be like, hey man, I just had a long week and will be staying in today, but I'll hit you up next week. If you can't do that with your friend, they may not really be your friend. If you feel like you can't do that with your friend, this may not still be the case. You might be projecting. You might need to reevaluate how you see your connection, and maybe you just try it. Maybe you realize that you can talk to this person, and so you try just some direct communication. Because without direct communication, almost every bond will crumble and fall apart. So, those are my concluding thoughts. I wanted to film at the park for the whole video, but I just got way too wrapped up in the fun I was having. So here we are, wrapping up Skyline Stroll. I would like to return to Turkey Run in the near future and maybe do a hiking video there as well. I am still also planning to go to Spring Mill. And yeah, my next video should be hopefully filmed on the beach. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, it really means the world to me. Drop me a like or comment. I could use extra engagement to help my channel grow. And in the meantime, have a lovely day, and let me know what's helping you with your social life.